everyone, and welcome to another episode of Out of the Fog. I'm your host, Laurabel. We have a very cool show for you today. I'll be joined by Terri Andrews and Jacques St-Pierre, who are part of the cast and producer of Kinky Boots. And I also get the opportunity to talk to Barb Baldwin about cardiac health within our province. So sit back, relax, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by Jacques St-Pierre and Terri Andrews, who are part of the director and cast of Kinky Boots. Guys, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited to have you guys here because I got to talk to you a little bit, Terri, a few weeks ago when we're talking about TaDa events, but now we're talking about Kinky Boots. So for our viewers who don't know what Kinky Boots is about, can you give them a little bit of a taste?
Yeah, Kinky Boots is a pretty iconic and fun musical. Cyndi Lauper did all the lyrics of all the songs in it, so it's all upbeat and fabulous. And it's the story of Price and Sons, which was based on a real story of a family shoe factory in northern England that was floundering. The dad passed away, the son took it over, and there was no market for the traditional shoes that they were making. And he teamed up with a drag queen that he met, and
enter Lola.
Yeah, enter Lola, and they had to come up with a niche market, something that could save the factory. So they started manufacturing kinky boots, boots for drag queens.
Okay, now Jacques or Barbra or Lola.
I know I have so many names nowadays.
Ever-changing names. How was it for you being cast as Lola?
Well, being a professional drag queen, and also I have a background in musical theater. I went to Sheridan College for musical theater performance. It's like a dream come true. I actually have a tattoo on my arm that says "Just Be," and I got that tattoo years ago when I saw Kinky Boots for the second time in Toronto.
Okay.
And the musical inspired me so much, and it's a musical about being yourself and celebrating who you are and celebrating love for all types of people.
Yeah.
And so to be able to be in this role, playing this iconic character, it means the absolute world to me, and I can't believe it.
So you get to be Lola, but Lola's has usually been a performer of color. So how are you incorporating the history of that as you're taking on the role?
Yeah, I mean, that's a discussion we've had quite a bit, talking about that, because the original movie, which came out in the early 2000s, was played by a person of color, Lola was. On Broadway, it was played by Billy Porter, and subsequent productions as well. Lola is such an incredible character, and there are parts of the show that that we've been changing and editing lyrics a little bit so that we're not trying to tell a story that I, with my white privilege, cannot tell.
Yeah.
But the main story behind Lola is, like, she's there supporting people and helping them understand that they can love themselves no matter who they are and love other people. Mm-hmm. And that's a colorblind story. So that story I can tell,
okay.
With the acknowledgement always that I am putting on these kinky boots that has normally been worn by some iconic people of color, and I'm honored to be able to play this role in this community.
That's so fantastic to hear.
It was a big decision,
yes,
whether we were going to do that or even take on this musical. But when in the license for the show, it does state that the essence of Lola and the story is not one of race necessarily or gender, but acceptance. So Simon and Charlie, who are from two very different backgrounds, they felt their fathers didn't accept them for who they were, and society didn't necessarily, their communities. And that's what the story is. So the license actually says that while the first person to perform it was a person of color, and we would prefer it cast that way, we recognize that in some places, to find someone who can sing that role, because it's a ridiculously high sing. There's not very many people who can sing it.
Yes, absolutely.
And dance it, and act it, and also is a drag queen.
Okay.
So the direction is to please cast it with as much diversity in mind as possible. And the whole show is cast with as much diversity in mind as possible, because we do have a company of drag performers, and we have traditional in musical theater people. We got opera singers in it, so you know we've done what we can to honor that, and we do have alternate lyrics and so on. And then it came down to a decision of we reached out and we looked as far as we could, and we do have some people of color in our cast for someone who could sing this role. And then it came down to, well, do we go with the alternate, which they've done in lots of countries all over the world. In North America, it's one way, but or do we go outside the province? And we truly also want to support Newfoundland and Labrador performers. Yeah. So I think we've struck a very, very good balance, and as Jacques is saying, are being very true to honoring the role and acknowledging that Jacques is very lucky to be playing it.
That's fantastic to hear. One as a woman of color who's also very into the musicals and loves the drag space. I'm really glad to know that you guys have taken that into account and then still been able to be as authentic to the original musical as you guys could be. So that's really great to hear. So people who are coming to see the show, what are they in for?
Take it away.
Oh, the show is so much fun.
It is.
So the name Kinky Boots might make it seem like it's not a family-friendly show.
Yes.
It is a show for the
Oh,
whole
it absolutely
family.
is, yeah.
It's a blast, but it really makes you think and it makes you feel, and you'll go from like dancing in your seat and laughing along with your family and friends to then really thinking about the important things to you in life and what inspires you. And like you said, Cyndi Lauper's music, and it's just such a blast. Like, you're not going to hear girls just want to have fun or True Colors.
Yes.
Is that her song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Lovely,
I thought I got a Celine song in there.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's really so much fun.
It's musically, it's difficult. It's a fabulous, fabulous show. But also, we did a couple of numbers as sneak peeks at the Frosty Festival Gala the other night, and there were a lot of kids in the audience, and they are RuPaul followers. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
And when the costumes hit the stage, not just the drag performers, because this is not a drag show, but it is a show with drag performers in it.
Yes.
When the spectacle and the costumes and the hair and, I mean, the 36 pairs of boots,
Goodness gracious.
hit the stage, the kids went mad. They really, truly went mad. It's pretty visual.
See, that's fantastic to know that it's such a family-friendly experience, because people would think Kinky Boots isn't kid-appropriate. It's fantastic to see that now. So 36 pairs of boots?
Oh,
those are just mine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the start. Yeah,
Okay.
and Keith Roberts is our costume designer. He's making boots. You know, he's buying them and altering them. He's buying them, he's making them, and I'm going, oh my God, at the end of this, we're going to have a boot option.
So for you, Jacques, how did you, so as a drag performer, you're used to getting in and out of drag. How did you feel getting into drag for Lola?
It's so funny because, like, when we're in rehearsal, I'm finding where Barbra, Bardot, and Lola meet.
Yeah.
But then it's been interesting for me as an actor going in drag, where Barbara's my own persona, but now she's in a show acting as a different drag performer.
Yes.
So I'm figuring it out, but for people who know me as a performer, they're not going to get just Barbra Bardot on stage. Like, I am playing a different role. I'm playing a different person. So that's been really, really fun. And the whole, like, audition process for this, going in as Barbra, I hadn't auditioned for a musical in years because I've mainly been doing drag. And I've realized that Barbra has helped Jacques find such a new confidence. So I'm finding all these different parallels now in the story with what's going on with Lola and all the things that are going on with me. And it's...
As a director, I do too. And we haven't discussed this, but Lola in the show becomes Simon at some point to try and fit in and loses confidence completely. And it was really interesting to see in some of our early rehearsals and in the auditions when Jacques came in, because we had callbacks and singing lessons and all kinds of stuff. It was a long process.
Yes.
And the difference between Barbra in the audition room and Jacques in the audition room. You know, Jacques was more held back and laid back.
I'm still a confident person, but I
But
totally agree.
yeah,
Like I put on
yeah.
the makeup and the wig, and it's like, like someone new comes alive. So
Hold me back.
it's like
because
we often say in the drag community, it's like superpowers.
Oh.
You put on your drag, and it's like Superman putting on his, or Clark Kent taking off his. I don't know anything about Superman.
Clark Kent puts on Superman.
Yeah,
Yes.
there we go. But you know, like it's like that different persona, and it's been really cool to mend the like two worlds of performance I come from into one, and like I said, living my dream every day.
It is
Oh, that's
gorgeous.
fantastic.
You know what was really funny at the show that we did last week was a lot of the people in our cast had never seen any of the drag company in drag, because they come to rehearsals and everybody's coming to rehearsals in whatever they can drag on to get into the rehearsal room to be comfortable. And then we go into Frosty Festival in this big show, and the drag company are in drag, and some of the cast didn't recognize their fellow castmates
That
because
was
they're going, "What? You got to be kidding me! That's Ophelia!"
That is so
Yeah, it was great.
So we could stay here and chat about this all day because you guys are fantastic and I love talking to you, but I want to make sure we get people to know
Thank you.
how they can get to see all this. So what are the dates?
11th, 12th, 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Of March.
Of
Of
March.
March.
Okay, and so I know you added an extra show.
did, yeah.
So that one is the 16th?
16th.
Okay, are the rest of the shows sold out? Do we know?
First one is sold out. The others are, you know,
Close.
less than 100 or 100
Okay.
tickets. So you can still get tickets if you scramble.
Okay.
The 16th is down to about 250 seats left.
Oh,
So,
good. So people-
they are selling quickly.
How do people get tickets?
They,
Well, you can call the box office at the Arts and Culture Center,
Okay.
which is at 729-3900, or you can go to artsandculturecenter.com.
I think you were a
All of your
perfect
tickets.
I
Also,
tell you,
if you
yeah.
go to my Instagram, there's a link right there because I want you all to come see me star in this musical.
I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you guys perform, and it's been an absolute pleasure. And I wore my kinky shoes.
You
for
did.
your kinky boots.
you're authentic, and you made them red.
Thank you guys so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. And now we're jumping into talking about a very important subject, cardiac health. And I am joined by Barbara, who's the president of the NL Cardiac Rehabilitation Association. Barbara, thanks for joining me.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's so nice of you to have me here.
Thank you. So when we talk about cardiac health or heart health, a lot of people don't know very much about it. So can you let us know and the viewers know what the Cardiac Rehabilitation Association is about?
Well, the Cardiac Rehabilitation Association is located here in St. John's. We have classes 3 mornings a week. It's basically an exercise program for people who have had heart incidents like a heart attack, open heart surgery, valve replacement, stenting, all the different aspects of cardiac health.
Okay.
Maybe I can start enlighten people. 24 years ago, I had a heart incident. I was basically just carrying on with my life, but all of a sudden, I was having pains in my arm, different things, different symptoms. And both of my parents had heart disease. My father died of a massive heart attack when he was 54.
Oh, wow.
And my mother later had open heart surgery, and you know, she didn't die from it, but she did have open heart surgery. So I was a likely candidate for heart disease.
Okay.
So anyway, my doctor referred me to a cardiologist who carried out different tests, like a dye test and a stress test and different kinds of tests, and they discovered that I had numerous blockages.
Oh.
So I did. They did recommend, the cardiologist did recommend that I have open heart surgery, which I did. And while I was in hospital, because I was in hospital almost a week waiting to have the surgery, I saw a brochure in the hospital, and I was reading up on it, and it was a brochure that Eastern Health has offered a cardiac program, a rehab program for people who have gone through certain incidents. So I inquired about it even before I had my heart surgery.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I knew it was on the go. When I had my surgery and I recovered, I joined this cardiac program. At that time, this was 24 years ago, at that time it was at the old Grace Hospital,
Okay.
the old residence. Anyway, I went through the program. It was like, I think it was 38 weeks, 36 to 38 weeks, under the supervision of a cardiac nurse and a doctor.
Okay.
Anyway, when the Grace closed, there was a lot of people who had gone through the program and they were still there even though they had finished the basic program. But the nurse was keeping everybody, trying to keep everybody healthy.
Yes.
So when the hospital, when the residence, nurses' residence and the Grace closed, well, there was probably 25 people who really wanted to keep the group together.
Yeah.
Okay? So we inquired and we got a place at the police station. They gave us this room at the police station downstairs in their gymnasium, and we started a program.
Okay.
It's basically a spin-off program for what Eastern Health offers.
Okay.
So right now we're over at the Sports Center on Crosby Road. We have exercise program 3 mornings a week. And right now we have maybe 50, 55 people
Okay.
in the program. Everybody doesn't come every day, but basically we get 35 to 40 people a day.
Wow. That's a lot of people coming through.
It is.
So is this program only for people who have gone through their initial treatment?
Basically, this is what we started with. But now we're including spouses of people who have gone through the program because it's a great support,
Okay.
especially for men.
Okay.
You know, we find that, you know, if their wives come or their partners come, it enlightens them as to what they should be doing to take care of their heart health.
See, that's really important when we think about heart health. I know there's not a lot that I'm aware of when it comes to caring for your health. I think a lot of people are like, oh, as long as I'm eating healthy, that's about all I would need to do.
Yes.
So it's really important. So do people learn lessons about overall how to care for their heart while they're in your program?
Yes, certainly, yeah. And we
Okay.
do a newsletter every 3 months with all kinds of important information and recipes and things like that, you know?
See, I might be checking into your recipes just so I can
Just so you can
No, so
live
I can
healthy.
so I
Yeah.
can live healthy. So
True.
when you mentioned that you had happened to have heart issues in your family, what were some of the symptoms that you noticed that others might not know to check up with?
Well, with women and symptoms for women and men are certainly different.
Yeah.
Now, I was having a lot of sort of gas,
Oh,
you know, which was really strange. Then I was having, well, and I used to be out walking a lot, and I did a lot of walking, but I found after, well, maybe I would walk a little bit, then I would get a pain
okay,
in my left arm.
okay,
And when I got that, I knew that was a symptom because I had read about it.
okay.
And this is when I did really start working on my, you know, reaching out to my doctor and telling her all this, and she got me in to see the cardiologist, which was great.
So what might be some of the symptoms for men that they might not realize?
For
or
men,
realize?
they have crushing pain in their chest.
Okay, all right.
You know.
So that would be a key.
That's one of the symptoms.
Okay, so I know you called it a heart incident. So I didn't know there's a difference between like a heart attack and other things that someone would feel going on with their heart, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's new information to me. That's really great to hear. So let's say I've realized there is something wrong with my heart. I've gone to see my doctor.
Yeah.
I've had my treatment, and now I need support. How do I get in contact with your organization?
Well, we're out there. We have brochures. We hope that we get most of the patients that are with the Eastern Health cardiac program. We hope that when they finish their program there, that they will come and join. Because anything with your heart, if you know, it doesn't go away. If you have heart issues, you have heart issues.
Oh.
You know, they're fixed,
Yes.
certainly, you know, when you have open heart surgery. But, you know, you can always have another artery clog up or something
Okay.
like that. You know?
So once you've had a heart issue, maintenance is kind of key
It's
to.
sort of, you have to keep
Okay.
it up.
So I've called in. So what can I expect on my first day with your program?
Okay, what we do, we'll introduce you to the area itself, show you where the washrooms are. You know, I don't know if you've ever been to the sports center over on Crosby Road. It's
No.
a beautiful, beautiful new building. It's got a walking track, and what we do, we set up chairs for people who cannot get on the floor
Yeah.
and do exercise. What we do, we have an exercise, half an hour of stretching, using weights, free weights, using a TheraBand to do, you know, just to exercise your body before you start to walk.
Okay.
And we're there from 7 a.m. until 9. So
Okay.
you can come early and walk. The program itself doesn't start until 8.
Okay.
And then it's a half an hour for exercise, and then we have a half an hour of walking.
Okay.
3 mornings a week, and basically the cost, because we have to pay rent, we are totally non-profit, non-funded. We don't get any money from the government or anything like that, or the health care. We are just trying to keep people out of the hospital,
Absolutely.
is what we're trying to do.
So that's a very important thing
It's
considering
very
the state of
important,
our healthcare right
And
now.
we have 5 or 6 different instructors
Okay.
every morning, and it's all volunteer. There's nobody gets paid. It's totally volunteer.
Okay. So what days? You said you do it 3 days a week. What
Monday,
days?
Wednesday, Friday.
Okay, that's easy
mornings.
to remember.
Yeah, and we're there at 7, and we basically finish up around 9.
And how would one get in contact with you guys? Is there an email address or way to get in hold?
Yes, you can call me or email me. I think you have it up on your screen.
Yeah.
barb.baldwin@nl.rogers.com.
Perfect.
And we'll take care of you. Just come over to the Sports Center, Crosby Road, and we'll take care of you.
That's so important to see. Now, if you wanted our viewers to know anything before we lose you when it comes to heart health or what your organization does as a whole to support the community, what key things would you want to make sure they know at the end of this program?
Well, you know, we're out there. A lot of people don't know we're out there. And this is why I got in contact with you. And thank you very much, certainly, for having me here. I just want to get the word out.
It's very important to know. So people to take a chance to know, one, your heart health is important.
It is.
Be
Very
aware of
important.
the symptoms.
That's right.
When you and get in with your doctor and know there's support
There
for
is,
you
yeah,
after you leave.
that's right. And you can be there as long as you want to be there.
That's really important to know. I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I know heart health's important to you and to all our viewers watching, so thank you so much.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
And we'll be right back, everyone. I want to thank you all for tuning in today, and a special thank you to my guests for joining me. I hope you learned a thing or two about heart health, and I hope you're going to pick up the phone and get your tickets to see Kinky Boots this March. I know it'll be a great show, and hopefully I'll see you guys out in the audience. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys again next time. Happy International Women's Day. On behalf of all of us here at Rogers TV, we want to wish a happy International Women's Day to all the women and female identifying persons working to make our world a better place. Thank you for all you do, big and small.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
Today, I helped a senior find transportation to an important medical appointment.
Today, I helped a new mom find virtual programming so she didn't feel so isolated.
Today, I helped someone understand new government supports.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
Calling all journalism students, Omni Television is once again awarding scholarships to qualified students pursuing a career in third language journalism.